Taking a month and a half to build, and with over 800 Black Falcons, we have this awesome Black Falcons castle at Brickfair, Virginia. I caught up with Nomorebricks, the builder of this build, to get his full breakdown of his awesome castle here. All right, we're here with Nomorebricks and with his Black Falcon fortress we got going on here. So what exactly is this?
So here is Falcon Stone Fortress. This is like one of the vital strongholds in my kind of scenario, my lore. This protects a vital trading point between the Falcons and the rest of the world.
So how did this whole build start?
It all started while watching Kingdom of Heaven. But yeah, I was like, man, I kind of have this massive army and they need somewhere to stay. So I built this. This actually seats the first cohort of my empire. I kind of structured my whole entire Black Falcons army as if it was a Roman legion. So here, this is the first cohort, 800 men. Pretty much I have quarters here.
What was your favorite part of this build?
The favorite part has to be the gatehouse. This is actually where I started this build. This actually has an interior, which I normally try not to do because a lot of people oh, I want to see it. It's not fully interior yet. And of course, as you can see with the size, it's kind of hard to take it apart. But for me, I think of my minifigures coming to life and they need to go in. I have a whole armory, living quarters. I think I have a bathroom in there somewhere, ammunition bay, and stuff like that.
And that's all in that gatehouse there?
That's all in that gatehouse, yeah.
Wow, so this building right here has all of that in it?
Yes.
That is awesome.
Maybe someday I'll get in the meat and potatoes and the inside, but for right now it's just tiled in with wood and whatnot.
What was one of the hardest things when building this?
So the hardest thing has to be actually I don't know. That's a good question. Putting the detail into it, especially the rock work. I hate doing rock work. You think it's just random slopes all over the place, but no, there's actually a design into it. But yeah, I had to say the rock work. I don't like it. If someone wants to do rock work for me, yeah, hit me up.
So can you talk a little more about the inside of this? Because there's some really cool stats you got going on here, and there's just a lot of fun details.
Yeah, so like I said, I watched Kingdom of Heaven. I actually watched the Night's Fall series on Netflix, and just to kind of get the design of the castle. Watched a lot of child diversity films, or I guess videos on YouTube. Basically, what is in the castle, what makes a castle. So I have the stables, I have a blacksmith in there, I have a whole bunch of flags, supplies, whatnot. In order to have a good functioning castle, you have to have a water source, have a well in there. A lot of fun details in there.
So then you got the outer walls here, and then you have your keep.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So the whole castle, right? I try to merge a lot of fantasy realism into this build. So huge fan of Warhammer, 40K, fantasy, Lord of the Rings, but I'm also into a lot of the English castles. So a lot of designs. The keep is actually kind of structured out of European style of castle. The keep itself is primarily inspired by the Tower of London.
Okay.
So a lot gentleman actually came in here and he was like, "Oh, that looks like the architecture of the Windsor Castle." It's yeah, I kind of looked into that, try to incorporate that into the build. The keep is actually interior too.
Oh,
Believe
really?
it or not, yeah.
Oh, and you can kind of see a little bit of it over here.
Yeah, so there's a throne room. There's actually living quarters up top. So hopefully I get that interior maybe next year at Fredericksburg. We'll see.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. But yeah, the keep is the actual realism of this whole entire castle.
That is so cool.
Thanks.
And then you have a whole ship scene going on here.
Yes, so I try to, I guess, theme my empire late 1400s. But like I said, I use some fantasy stuff. So if you look at the outer wall over here have like double-sided cannons. So my Black Falcon Empire reached the gunpowder age.
Okay.
So we have like really crude like cannons.
So if you're talking Age of Empires term, they got to the Imperial Age, right?
Again, also a huge fan of like the Total War series.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like this is all a dream, man. Like having like growing up, you just can't have like a couple Black Falcons or like knights in general. You have to have like a vast, like the majority of it. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So you got your army here over here. Let's talk about that a bit. So you got your front, you got your main group here. What's this group that's coming out of the keep?
So I'm like kind of writing up the lore right now. So here I have Richard the Lionheart as like King John. Kind of gonna look a little pretty cool with golden armor and whatnot. I have my Grandmaster. So with my Black Falcon army, right? It's based off like Teutonic hierarchy.
Okay.
Yeah, Teutonic Knights. So you have like Grandmaster, then you have your Magnus Commander up top, and then you have like a couple like Landmeisters and whatnot. But yeah, so the story right here is Richard the Lionheart is coming up to the Black Falcons in order to start a crusade up down south.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's a horde of orc that are coming through the portal, causing some mayhem.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So then we got over here your actual like just army set up.
Yeah. So like I said earlier, this is the first cohort, 800 men. So how I structure this, right? So each base plate has 80 men on it.
Okay.
So we have 8 soldiers equal a centurion, and 10 centurions equal a century. So having a military background, you have a pretty much a commander of your centurion, and then you have like a senior like veteran in charge of like all these men.
And then what different units do you have here?
So right now I just have like my spearmen, I have my rangers up top or over here. I know that you don't consider these as Black Falcons.
You know, it's kind of funny because when I did the video with Shai, he also said that. Like.
But yeah, see, we listen. So this is like my vanguard. So these are like conscripts. There's like pretty much just volunteers basically. Okay. And the rest of the army is like conscripts or soldiers in general. But I chose the black helmets because I don't like the whole silver aspect.
I agree. I think the black is the superior look when you're doing a Black Falcon army.
Right.
You know, some people Shai. No,
no, I love you, Shai. But yeah, so but you do see like silver helmets, right? So I used a Thor helmet. I actually used that for the first men for my Mordor like collab that I have here at Brickfair as well. But those are like my elite. Those are kind of like your badass guys.
Nice.
And I have like my flintlock. So these guys like gunpowder is very expensive, so that's why you have like a small number of them, but they do like the volley aspect to get mass effects.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I also noticed you got some light effects here.
Yeah.
What different things do you have that light up in this?
So I have the little pyres up top. Like I said, like inspired by like fantasy castles, concept art. That's what I use from like video games. We also have like my mages in each tower. So they pretty much, they deal with like destructive, like I'm taking like Skyrim terminology and stuff like that. Okay. From this build, yeah.
Not gonna lie, when I first saw them, I thought of Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed. I got that a lot. So up top, if you notice, there's crossbowmen. I don't have archers up top, only because like they're more, I guess, vital in a defensive scenario.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the favorite detail you put into this that like no one else is really gonna see unless you point it out?
I actually like my blacksmith shop a little bit. So it's on the other side.
That's that right there?
Yeah. You see it's like low. Nothing's going on there, but yeah, I put a lot of like emphasis on it for some reason, especially with the smoke effect.
Oh yeah, that's really, so you got the gray smoke coming up there.
Yeah, brick build and stuff. Yeah. So another thing I want to point out with the towers, right?
Yes.
So this is actually designed by my buddy Jordan, aka Brickster. We call these Jordan corners, but
Okay.
as you can see, it's like very flushed. And if you see that break in the middle, that's so that water, I don't know, I'm trying to like keep it like kind of realistic. So with the tower, you don't want it to flood, so you need a drain. So that's actually like water drains. So if you want to go into the statues a bit, so this is actually designed by Brick. These are actually Sith Emperor statues, I believe, when he used it for Star Wars. But loved the design, got the instructors from him, and then created like swords, because also like, yeah, kind of looks like Warhammer 40K, World of Warcraft.
Yeah, Easter eggs. Let's go with that.
Yeah, let's go with that. So I have here is medieval Batman. I forgot what year it was, but yeah. So yeah, where did he come from? Like Dimensions Pack?
Lego Movie?
Maybe Dimensions Pack. But I have yeah, the Dark Knight going up the wall over here. Over here we have a bard relaxing, playing his lute, and then I have what's really cool is that Lego put out like a Disney like castle theme. So I have Sir Mickey, I have drunk Donald, and up here in the trees I have Robin Hood, and in the bushes a lot of people didn't notice like I have Frodo and Sam.
Let's go.
Yeah. I also have a Captain Jack Sparrow, and then causing a ruckus here on one of my lead ships. That was like a little fun effect and stuff like that. Awesome. And this is like my my Chad. I don't know what he's doing. It's like Titanic. Yeah, cool. So speaking of my ships, right? I'm designing so these are kind of like sloops. These are just like supply. They aid in like amphibious assaults. And then here we have a frigate. This is actually designed out of World of Warcraft, one of the Alliance's like ships. But building a bigger one that has turrets, kind of more like steam.
Okay.
Feel, yeah. That's why I call this like EWS, like Black
Okay.
Prince. Yeah. And here's like one of my admirals up here. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Thanks, man.
I liked how you used the Viking helmets for like your ship guys.
Yeah. Or we're like seafaring. You don't want to wear like plate mail. So I think like the red guys have like chain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. You also have like some like drawings in here. What is this over here?
Yeah. So this whole build actually took me a month and a half. Believe it or not.
Really?
I documented on my Instagram. I tried doing like a section. So there's 8 sections. Tried doing a section a week. But then as time went on, and I was like, I need to get this done. So I started doing like everything all at once. But what really helped is planning it out.
Okay.
So around like May 31st, May 30th, I drew out these plans. So as you can see here, this is like the sections of the castle. I try to like put like, oh, what do I want in it, like whatnot. As you can see, I drew out the keep, and here's like how I fortified my army. I watched a lot of, like I said, Shah Diversity, Roman Legion, that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is a Falconstone Fortress. And
Where can people find you if they want to see more about this?
Mainly I'm on Instagram. Procrastinating on doing a YouTube video about this, but yeah, you can find me on Instagram for sure.
What's the username?
Nomorebricks.
And any last final thoughts?
Yeah, so I plan on expanding it. It's going to be hopefully using like this whole 3 8-foot tables. But yeah, just want to thank Brad for checking out my mock and doing this little interview thing.
Black Falcons, right?
Hell yeah, let's go.